What's up, everybody? JP back at you once again, bringing you guys another video. So today's video is going to be something a little bit different. It is a co-hosted video with my co-host here,
Carly,
and you can check out Carly's channel in the link in the description, which is Carly317 on YouTube.
Correct.
And we decided to come together and do a couple joint videos for Christmas. This is the 12 days of Slaughtermas.
I was just thinking Christmas horror.
Christmas?
Could have been okay.
Christmas horror? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go with Christmas horror. So basically 12 reviews in 12 days leading up to Christmas. You guys know that I've always done Halloween videos on my channel for Halloween, 31 days.
Yeah, which means we'll probably only make it to like 5, and then, you know,
Hey,
you won't see us ever again.
My Halloween series this year.
True. But we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, so basically we picked 12 Christmas films.
Yes.
And we're going to review them. So first up, we had the very wonderful experience and luxury of seeing the classic 1984 Gremlins, directed by Joe Dante, in the theater last night.
Yeah, last night.
It wasn't last night.
It wasn't last night.
It was
2 nights ago. 2 nights ago.
So, yeah, and that was your first time watching it, right?
No.
Oh.
You're really fucking everything up, aren't you?
Why?
Because everything you say is a false.
A falsity?
Yeah, I've seen it once before, but that's it. So, I mean, you know.
And you didn't care for it, right?
I cared for it a little bit, yes. I think I gave it, like, a good rating when I first saw it. I think we watched it together. No, maybe not.
We did.
Okay, yeah. So we watched it together, and, you know, I thought it was cool, but, like, I also, you know, I think I kind of got out of it towards the end, so.
Yeah, so she wasn't a huge fan, is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
And she wasn't even excited to go see Gremlins. Cat?
Please don't ruin this.
Cat! Hey, Cat!
Stop.
Stop it.
He ruins everything.
I'm a G. I'll take it away. Taking it. Bad kitty.
Don't let it spin. No!
So anyway, So anyway, we went and seen Gremlins in the theater last night.
2 nights ago.
Two nights ago.
It was cool.
It was cool, yeah. Gremlins was a favorite of mine.
Wait, you wouldn't know because you slept through all of Gremlins.
I didn't sleep through all of Gremlins.
He sleeps through all of every movie we go to see.
That's untrue, first of all. Second of all, sometimes I'll take a brief little micro nap. You guys seen Elm Street remake where they take the micro naps like a split second? Yeah, that's me. I'll take a brief little micro nap at the parts of the movie that are slow. Afterwards, I'll feel fully energized and I'll be good to go.
I don't know. I look over and you're just like, it's a little bit true.
It's dark. You can't even see my eyes.
Yeah, because they're closed.
Get out of here. So, we've seen Gremlins. Our local theater does a classic movie night every Wednesday, sometimes Thursday, sometimes Fridays. Like they did Friday the 13th original on Friday the 13th back in October. And for Christmas, it's mostly like the classics like Christmas Story and Christmas Vacation, but this year they actually showed Gremlins, which is pretty cool because it's like the one horror movie that is probably suitable for Christmas. I tried to get Silent Night, Deadly Night shown there, and one, the guy either lied and said that he couldn't get the rights, or two, they didn't want to have a killer Santa Claus with an axe on the poster in the lobby, so who knows?
I mean, Gremlins was pretty cool because there was a lot of parents in there with like their like 7-year-old kids. So that was pretty cool. Yeah,
that was awesome. I kept looking back at that little girl.
She was so cute.
And she was like, ew, gross, or something, you know? It was pretty cool. So, Gremlins basically follows a young man by the name of Peter? No. Billy.
Billy.
Pete is the Corey Feldman's character. Billy, who goes and gets a awesome Christmas present from his father, an inventor, who picked it up in Chinatown during his travels. Now this pet is no ordinary pet. It's not a cat, it's not a dog, it's not even a snake. It is a mogwai, which seems to be some sort of Chinese creature. Basically, it's like a little ass Furby kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Somebody beeping in?
No.
Okay. And there's 3 rules to this pet. You cannot put it in the sunlight because sunlight will kill it.
Yes.
You cannot get it wet for whatever reason they don't really tell us.
Yes.
And don't ever feed it after midnight. Whatever you do, no matter how much he begs, how much he screams,
who cares?
Don't feed it after midnight.
Yes.
Well, let's just say that they break all 3 of those rules. Upon showing off the little gremlin or mogwai, his name's Gizmo, super cute, to one of his friends, Pete, which I don't know, he's not really his friend because he's like clearly way younger than him.
Yeah, what's even, I never understood that like relationship. Did they explain that in the movie and I'm not paying attention?
Well, no, Pete brings over the Christmas tree.
Oh, so he's just like the neighborhood kid who's selling the trees.
He works at the tree store with his
trees,
dad. Remember, he's dressed up at the tree.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So he's shown it to him, and the kid accidentally drops water, knocks over a cup on Gizmo, and he starts bubbling up, and he's like, and then all these little fur balls pop out, and they fastly grow, and they open up, and they're little fucking Gizmos.
They is.
Unfortunately,
they ain't like Gizmo.
They ain't like Gizmo.
They not the same.
No, Gizmo's like a nice little dude who likes to sing. And these little bastards are like tearing shit apart and
terrorizing the dog.
And they're smart too. Like they know what's up. Like they know how to trick people. You want to go fix that?
Yeah, I guess.
A few moments later.
It was my mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Proceed.
So these gremlins, or mogwais, trick Billy into feeding them after midnight. So that's the second rule that they break.
Yes.
And basically what this does is it puts them into a cocoon. But it's not like a nice little fluffy cocoon, like the little fur balls that they are. It's a goddamn booger.
It's a gross is what it is.
Yeah, it's just, he wakes up and there's gross all over the floor. At the same time, his professor at college or something also has a gremlin or mogwai. I guess they're gremlins after the mogwai, so like first they're mogwais. So he has a mogwai, and basically same shit happens over there.
Yeah.
So this little dude eats a sandwich, and that's actually Stripe, which is like the kind of the leader. He has a like white stripe on the top of his head. Mm-hmm. And so these things are like kind of incubating in these little cocoons, and they, through metamorphosis, change into something not so furry and cuddly after they come out. And it takes them less than a day to develop and change, which probably doesn't make the most sense. But after they come out, there's these like little green gremlins. Like they're like little.
They're scurry a little bit.
Yeah, they're a little scary.
Yeah.
And basically they just begin terrorizing the town, and it's up to Billy to kind of fix everything. And that's pretty much your plot. Now, the thing with Gremlins is originally it was a much darker film when it was being conceived. Apparently there was a scene where like when the mother's fighting off the gremlins, she gets her head cut off and it rolls down the steps. So, you know, definitely much darker before, but it is still kind of dark. You know what I mean? It's still a movie that teeters on the edge of like acceptable for a child.
Yeah. It's
definitely, you know, kind of brutal. There's like some gore. It's a little gross and stuff. Like Billy gets like stabbed or something, you know what I mean? And the mom like hacks up all these gremlins in her kitchen and things like that.
Yeah, that's kind of like she puts one in the microwave. I like think that's kind of gross. But that at the same time it feels like a Christmas movie like especially like the whole like just first act basically just feels like a nice like lighthearted almost Christmas film, and that's what I like about it.
Yeah, so it is set on Christmas, and you know, it definitely has like strong Christmas vibes. Like there's Christmas music, there's some Christmas movies on the TV and stuff like that. Christmas lights, Christmas trees, Christmas presents.
Yeah.
Especially the smokeless ashtray, classic. Not as good as
That
Bathroom
dad
Bunny,
sucks.
but so like she said, the dad sucks. He's an inventor, but all of his inventions are like super crap.
Yeah, like not one of them I don't think succeeds in the entire movie.
Yeah, pretty bad, pretty terrible inventor. But you know, a lot of inventors invented a bunch of trash before they ever invented like electricity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who invented electricity?
Dude, don't.
What?
Don't make me look dumb. You're making me look dumb.
When?
Because I don't remember. Is it Thomas Edison? No, he discovered the light bulb. You know what? Whatever. I don't forget history. I don't like history class.
So, anyway, we have this craziness going on here, and it's like a weird movie because I kind of describe it as almost like a cartoon in a way, because there's a lot of things that are happening that even though the film's set in like the real world, you know, it's just regular normal lives.
Mm-hmm.
The things that happen in the movie are kind of impossible a little bit, like the gremlin like breaking into like the street light thing and like hot wiring it, like
yeah.
It just doesn't make sense like how it would know to do that or anything like that. And there's other things in the movie that don't make sense, like Gizmo gets in that little toy car and he's driving it around.
Yeah.
Like that's it. Like what toy car would actually have functioning driving?
It's like something out of Toy Story.
Yeah,
something.
it just doesn't make a ton of sense. Like one of them's spinning from a ceiling fan, and it just goes faster and faster, and like freaking catches on fire. Like it just doesn't. It just wouldn't. It wouldn't be able to go faster.
Yeah.
With the weight of the gremlin, you know what I mean? Like it wouldn't have that powerful of a motor inside of it. But those are all things that you can't, like even Mrs. Deagle's chair.
Yeah, that's like the most ridiculous part, honestly, in the movie, I think. Just because it's like a human, this is happening to a person.
Yeah, and like she sits in this chair, and it's like one of those chairs that go up the stairs for people who can't like walk good. Mm-hmm. And the gremlin like hot wires it, and instead of it going like, you know, its normal slow ass speed, it's like super fast. But we know that there would be no way to do that without like replacing the motor or something. They're just not designed that way, you know what I mean? It's like little things like that that kind of take it out of reality. And typically I don't like things like that in movies, but it just works so well in Gremlins because it's like this mixture of almost like a cartoon.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun movie. It's like PG, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
so
actually,
it's
one of the films, that and Poltergeist, that kind of pushed for there to be something in between PG and R.
Like, it's weird.
Because there was only X, PG, and R. There might have been NC-17 at the time too, but there was no PG-13.
Yeah, it's just like, it's weird because it feels like a kid's Christmas movie, like the freaking Grinch movie or something like that almost, but it's like horror, like there's violence and like some gore and things like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of like good like Christmas like heartwarming moments to it too. The whole end is like really kind of sad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's all like, "Aw."
I'm like, man.
Poor Gizmo. He's like, "Bye, Willie."
I forgot it ended like that too. I was like kind of disappointed. I was like, oh, that wasn't the happy ending I wanted.
They pretty much destroyed the entire town. Like, they completely broke the ball on that one. They broke all the rules within the first day. And they just destroyed it. There's also, like, a very random-ass scene in this movie. I remember when I was a kid, it, like, literally, like, disturbed the hell out of me. It's such a weird thing to be in, like, a kid's movie, too. Where this girl, played by Phoebe Cates, what was that face?
I think it's Phoebe.
No, it's Phoebe.
It's Phoebe!
It's Phoebe. So she tells the story of why she doesn't like Christmas.
Yeah.
And it's like the most disturbing, messed up piece of crap thing you've ever heard. And it's like, if you're Billy, you're just like...
It almost, it reminds me of like the Pet Sematary scene with Zelda, how it's like just so
random,
out there, and it's like the scariest part of the movie. It's just like her just telling the story, because that girl's kind of like just in the movie for the sake of there being like a girl in the movie, and then she's like, oh,
Yeah, because she really doesn't do a damn
She
thing.
does. Yeah, she does not save the world at all.
And the Gremlins like they're the real star of the movie. Like they just like hop around and like just do crazy stuff. They're just like ah, you know, like when they're watching Snow White, they're like oh, oh. But yeah, it's fun stuff. There was actually something that I've seen this movie, and we have the DVD here. We didn't even hold it up, but we saw it at the theater. But she does own the DVD, as do I. But one of the things that I noticed this time while watching it, now I've seen this movie dozens of times.
Right.
Like it was a staple in my childhood home on VHS. I actually had neighbors above me. I lived in an apartment complex, and I had neighbors above me who had a wall of VHS tapes. And I would just go knock on their door at like 2 a.m. to like exchange tapes. And
they'd come out with their gun. And
they would come out in their like nightgown and be like, "Oh yeah, come in." And then like they would just leave me there standing in front of the wall, and I'd be like, "Which one do I want?" And then they'd just be sitting there like all tired and sleepy, like waiting on me.
Sounds horrible.
Yeah. And I would always rent Gremlins and Gremlins 2. Now, you've never seen Gremlins 2, right?
No.
Well, an interesting thing about Gremlins 2 is it also stars Zach Galligan and Phoebe Cates.
Phoebe Cates, yeah.
Phoebe
Cates. Right, I saw that on the trailer, yeah. Phoebe.
And it's a lot different. It's not set on Christmas and things like that, but it is a, it's okay follow-up. A lot more ridiculous and silly, but it kind of has a little bit more social commentary and stuff like that in it. But the point is, there's 2 other characters that are also in Gremlins 2 that were in the original. The Futtermans. Do you know who that is?
No.
Alright, do you know Dick Miller?
No. Wait, are these humans or people in the movie?
That's an actor.
Oh,
he's like in everything. He was in Chopping Mall. He's that guy that
he plays in like stuff, but he's not like ever like a main standout guy and stuff.
Get down, cat. He's always like a character actor. He's always got these bit parts in movies and stuff like that, but he's never like a main character. He's in this movie. Do you know who he is now?
I mean, I know who you're talking about. I don't know what I can't picture what this dude looks like. What was that? A dance? Like, what was that?
It's the like, you're dumb as F.
Dude,
moment.
okay, listen, I don't understand. Just go, tell me. Stop embarrassing me.
Do you want to take a guess on who he is?
In the movie?
In the movie.
In the movie, he is, the tree salesman.
No.
The dad.
No.
The guy who is in the house and then his whole house gets plowed over.
Yes.
Really?
The guy who's like.
I thought he did it.
The guy that's like talking about them before we ever see them.
Oh. Okay.
And he's like walking home because he's all drunk and stuff. And he's the guy that meets Billy at the beginning when he's like, "Do you need a jump or something?" And he's like,
okay.
"Oh, those. I like those comics or something." He's like, "Mr. Funman, they don't run those comics anymore." And he's like, "Oh, that guy. He's in part 2."
Playing the same character?
Yeah.
Huh.
And what did you just say a second ago about him?
That he plays random ass characters.
No.
That he was plowed over.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you said he was deaded.
Yeah, I thought he was dead.
I thought he was too.
Right.
And I always was like, that's weird that they never,
showed nothing about it.
Yeah, because he's in the second one, so you're always like, how's he alive? You know what I mean? But funny thing about this time watching it, first time I've ever noticed this. Ow. He basically, ow! Stop biting me! Ow!
Dude,
get down. At the very end of the movie, they mention them that he survived like some kind of it's on like the news reporting or something.
Hey.
And it's like Mr. Futterman, a local snowplow. I don't know what it says, but
yeah, I remember the news. I just wasn't paying attention.
So I totally never noticed that, which is really cool. Professionalism at its height. Your cat sucks,
dude.
So I thought it was just super nifty that they actually do explain that. That's pretty much Gremlins. Zach Galligan's in this movie. I actually like him as an actor. I wish he would have been in more stuff.
Does he play? I was gonna ask, like, he looks very familiar when
You've definitely seen him in one other movie. I know that for sure.
Yeah. It's another horror movie?
Yeah.
Oh.
You own it.
Mm.
You just reviewed it, actually.
For real? Like on my 31 days or something?
Nope. So he's in Waxwork and Waxwork 2, along with Hatchet 3.
Oh.
He's the sheriff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Did you not know that?
Yeah, I feel like that's not where I like know him from, but that's every time. Like I always look up the movies, and then I'm just like, oh, he was in this, but that's not what I thought I saw him in. But
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe.
So I had a blast seeing Gremlins in the theater. It was one of the movies I definitely wanted to see eventually. But what did you think overall? Like, are you a bigger fan now that you watched it a second time in the theater?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bigger fan. I think it's a fun movie because it's like the perfect blend of Christmas and horror aspects. And I think it's great for kids to show, like, if you want to get your kids into horror, it's the perfect movie
We call those gateway horror films.
it's a perfect gateway horror film to show the kids if you want to get them into horror because, I mean, it's really not that scary, but, like, the gremlins themselves kind of look a little scary. And then, like, you know, the part where, like, the mom's kind of fighting them is a little bit, like, gross at times and stuff like that. So I think that's cool. Yeah, I like the movie. I feel like I wish I would have watched it when I was younger.
I was gonna say that because like this is like
a lot.
perfect fodder to turn you into a horror fan.
Yeah.
Like I remember watching this movie so often as a kid. At one point, it was actually like in my top 20 favorite horror films. I think it probably fell like heavily out of there now. There was a time where I used to watch it every Christmas. This was my go-to Christmas horror film. And actually, I kind of continued that tradition unintentionally. I picked it back up again starting with last year because we watched it last year.
Yeah.
And then now watching it again this year, it's like I'm already on a streak again.
Yeah, like.
But it's a classic. I absolutely love it. Honestly, like it's just a cool movie to me, and yeah. So there was actually talks of a Gremlins 3. I don't know if it'll ever happen. And there was actually I believe there's a short film that just came out that actually uses like the puppets from the movies. Like is like real popular all over the internet just recently.
Really?
Yeah, like this month. So I don't know. I haven't checked it out or anything. But anyway, what would you rate this film?
I think the first time I watched it, I gave it an 8 out of 10. But after the other night, I gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so I think I would probably come in at about a 8.5 out of 10 as well. I think my last rating might have been an 8, but seeing it in the theater really kind of picked up my
theaters
spirits.
always make it like much better. Like movies just seem great when you see them on the big
Absolutely,
screen.
especially seeing them with an audience. Like we saw Friday the 13th original, and I used to always be down on that movie, but I definitely liked it a lot more when we seen it.
Yeah, I always loved the movie, and like that was a great one to see.
Yeah. So, with that said, that is day number 1 in our 12 days of Christmas.
Yes.
Cat.
Sorry, everybody.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Peace.